there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Grace and Bakes. Thank you so much for tuning into the video. As we're approaching winter, the weather has been a little off. We've had rain and cold weather for the past few days, so I thought, why not make amagwinya and share the recipe for those who would like to learn. For ingredients, I used 6 cups of flour, I used 6 tablespoons of sugar, a teaspoon of salt. I used a quarter cup of oil, any kind of oil. I used 1.5 cups of water. I know you can only see one here, but I did add as I went. I'll show you how I did it as the video progresses. I used 1 packet of yeast, and I added about a quarter cup of creamora or any coffee creamer, just because I love the creamy texture that it gives amagwinya. And I mixed all of that together, as you can see, starting with the dry ingredients. And once everything was combined, then I added my oil and water and just mixed it through. By the way, I do hope you enjoy the video. If you have any questions or something you don't understand, feel free to put your question in the comment box below, and I will try my best to get back to everyone who comments. So once you've combined all your ingredients, the next step is to knead the dough. Breads, buns, amagwinya being one of them, donuts, and all those types of dough do need a lot of kneading. So make sure your hands are clean and make sure you're ready to press it. So I dusted my surface using flour just so that it doesn't stick, and I'm just gonna pour all that dough onto the surface and then get my hands dirty. So what we're hoping to do here is to make sure that we remove any lumps and bumps in the dough, and we want it to be like stretchy and soft and easy to form into shapes. So the amagwinya dough is not solid, but it's not wet as well. It's sort of like in between. It's stretchy, almost wet, but not really runny. I don't know if I'm making sense, because to me that sounds like a lot of gibberish, but you want it to be soft to the touch, not runny at all, but also not very solid. It shouldn't, like, your shape shouldn't stay, if that makes sense, because I'm not sure that you can see the texture in the video, but I hope you understand what I'm saying, guys. So once we're done kneading, you're going to take a little bit of oil, pour it into any kind of bowl, and just cover the bowl using the oil. This is just so that the dough doesn't stick to the bowl, because we have to put it in a warm place for it to rise for about 30 minutes to an hour, or just until it has doubled in size. So I didn't show you guys how I put it in the bowl, just because my camera stopped recording. I don't know why, but this was after I let it rise for about an hour, and that's what it looked like. So you're just supposed to mix it again to get rid of the air bubbles in there. And a minute or so of kneading again, but I didn't do that because I thought my dough looked fine. If you feel like doing it, you can. After this, I'm just going to take my dough and shape it into balls for amagwinya. So again, you're going to dust your surface with flour so that they don't stick. And also I find that covering the dough with a coat of flour before I put it in the oil actually helps it not absorb as much oil, because amagwinya do tend to be very oily. So if it's covered in flour before frying, then it's less oily. So I just prefer it that way. You don't have to do this, I just think it helps. I prefer it that way. I did prepare my oil beforehand, like heated it. You want your oil to be on medium heat. It shouldn't be too hot, because once you put your dough in, the outside is going to burn while the inside is not cooked. So put it on medium heat. My stove ends at level 6, so I put it at level 4 at first and then turned it down a bit to level 3 as I went on, just so that the oil doesn't heat up too much. So this is how I formed my balls. I just squeezed the dough in between my index and thumb, and then that's what I got. Also, when you're putting your balls into the oil, you need to make sure that you give them enough space, because they are going to continue rising inside the oil as they cook. So don't make the pot packed, don't put too many at a time. Just make sure they have a little space to float, play around in there, and to also rise as they cook. So this is my first batch. It doesn't look too great. I know some of them are actually quite not likable, if I could put it nicely. However, that happens with the first batch. The second batch will be better, I promise. Yours will also be better if your first batch looks like mine, but hopefully not, eh? So this happens because there were cracks in the dough while I was preparing it. So my balls maybe had like lines on them and stuff like that. Then as they cook, they maintain that shape and then grow with that shape. So that's why they look a bit like this. So you remove your amagwinya when they've turned a golden brown on all sides. That's your indication that they're done. So this is my second batch. Like I told you, it looks better. Sorry about the background noise, it's the dog, guys. So again, once they turn golden brown, then it's time to take them out. I really loved how the second batch came out. All of them are like so perfect, they're so beautiful. I was happy with this batch. And here are Amagwinya. I hope you guys loved the recipe, and I really hope you try it. Please let me know how it goes in the comment section. See you in the next video.